Eyes are the gateway to the soul. We all learned that lesson from an old lady we harassed at Central Park. I used to associate myself with the bad crowd, what you'd used to describe as greasers. Oh man, we had the entire get-up too. Slick hair, leather jacket, tight ball-hugging jeans. My personal favorite accessory, a switchblade. I kept mine spit shine clean. I can still remember that night clearly. We went to the diner where this blonde petite chick with nice tits waited our table. Victor tried pinching her ass in the bright yellow skirt, and that's how we got kicked out. I was half done eating my bacon cheeseburger until that fat forehead prick had to get touchy. Swear to God, if he would have lived to be in his 30s, he would have ended up being in prison as an early budding rapist. So, there we were. 4 young men quite not ready to call it a night yet. Tony decided to get some beer from the liquor store. Cheap off-brand beer. They had odd names like Bud Lightning or Canadian Ice. You know, the 12% tall cans that make you feel like you're about to shit out your mouth and puke out your asshole. We walked around the city and drank without a care in the world. Eventually, we came across the park entrance. That was my choice to enter, because I started to notice Victor becoming a drunken, rowdy, and rambunctious mess. I felt as though he might try to grab another woman again, or pick a fight. Unlike him, I didn't believe in taking what wasn't yours. Life is all about walking the line until something comes up.
Hey, Robert, what are we doing here? Want me to push you on the swing, you queer?
Victor said, chortling like a stuffed nose hog. Nah, just don't feel like being trapped in a jail cell tonight with your ugly mug. They'd probably mistaken your fat lips as dick suckers and make you their pocket, I said, making the other guys laugh. Victor puffed out his chest, which made him look like a silverback gorilla suffering from scoliosis.
Wanna say that to my face?
I could smell the cheap beer on his breath. I bent my head around and faced his rear. Sure, why not? They laughed again. When we came close to throwing punches, we saw a small silhouette, hunched over and slowly creeping towards us. Here's the thing about Victor. He couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag if his life depended on it. Before I got the opportunity to knock him down rightfully, he turned his attention to a moving shadow.
Hey, humpback, what are you sneaking from? A dungeon?
It might have been the alcohol, but this made me laugh with the fellas too. God damn, lady, you carrying a boat on your back? I shouted. Christ, thinking on it now, we really were stupid, childish men over our heads. Victor stumbled in front of her and waved a hand close to her face.
Guys, you won't believe this. She is blind. Come here and check out our nightly host.
We should have left and let the old lady ignore us. Instead, the guys went, so I did too. When I got a closer look, I could see damp black stains on the blindfold wrapped around her head. Tony tried touching the fragile cloth, and she shouted, "Oh, goes there!" We were taken aback as she reached both hands out to grasp us. I stepped back further than the others.
Oh, she's freaky, huh?
Victor said, circling around her as predators usually do. She kept trying to grab at his voice until he stopped talking. He snuck behind her and barely pulled at the blindfold. I felt guilty as the cloth unraveled on a nearby thorn bush. She covered her eyes, screaming bloody murder, and we all stood there as if we didn't harass an elderly blind woman. The palms of her hands pressed against her eye sockets as we heard, "What have you done? They will escape. They are escaping." I listened to the old hag, completely transfixed on this terrific outburst and how much screaming could come from such fragile lungs. She had a raspy cigarette voice. Victor went off his leash again and smacked her in the temple.
Shut up, bitch!
He shouted before grabbing the blindfold from the thorn bush.
Christ, you old cunt! Cover yourself back up if that makes you be quiet.
That's when her hands left the dark void where eyes should have been and latched onto Victor's face. At first, I thought he would push her or punch her in the rib cage. Instead, both arms dropped to his sides and his knees buckled to the ground. She never let go of his limp head. He began to convulse in violent, jerking movements. The other guys ran as expected. I would bet donuts to dollars that they completely threw this entire situation to the back of their minds like an attic filled with cobwebs and boxes. Who were they to play heroine and save a life? Victor at that. Well, there I was, full steam ahead to shoulder tackle the old lady. "Get your hands off of him!" I shouted before launching her small, frail body into the pavement. I heard bones dislocate from underneath thin meat. She must have weighed 80 pounds because her grip had been pulled off Victor's head like a tornado, sucking her backward. Her empty eye sockets widened as if she had the ability of sight. She cried in unrelenting agony, but what made it worse was her tears fell silently on the breath that left her behind from the impact. Her mouth moved and nothing came out. Victor kept seizing on the grass, and deep red vortex blood vessels began disseminating throughout the white in his eyes. The color in his iris became pale and faded. Each attempt to remove Victor from this terrible seizure was futile.
My body, your vessel. My body, your vessel. My body, your vessel.
He repeatedly shouted, and at first I thought he was praying. I slapped his face and shook him hard. Listen, man, I never claimed to be a medical professional, so I didn't know what to do. Victor started crying blood while still frequently shouting,
My body, your vessel. My body, your vessel. Yes. Please. Release me. Lord, save me. My body, your vessel.
Victor's voice slowly changed into one unrecognizable. I felt useless in my efforts to help him, so I went to find a phone booth to call an ambulance. But before I stood up, Victor grabbed me by the throat and slammed me down. His head twitched, his back bent, and his arm became stiff. We were face to face when he said,
Our body, there is all.
Darkness surrounded us. We were sitting next to each other on a marble floor, while fog gently swept between our vision like clouds. Above our heads were giant towers that resembled grandfather clocks. They had ancient golden gears that rusted over time. The ground was completely made of marble, and my reflection changed every time a gear turned. My reflection was an older version of myself, wearing suspenders. Next, a child playing army men outside in the dirt. I looked at Victor's reflection, and it never transformed into anything other than a rotten corpse. Its limbs peeling off when the gears echoed.
Robert, is that you?
He whispered without looking at me. Victor kept his attention directed at the clock towers.
How long have I been here? Are you dead? Are we dead?
His words were close to the question I almost asked. Are we dead? It might have been years since I've last seen Victor. Matter of fact, I haven't seen another living soul except myself in the marble. Hunger and sleep are non-existent here. I have walked in all directions and found no escape. I cannot tell if I am moving in place or if everything is the same. Recently, the gears stopped. Thank God. The exact echo boomed in my ears every minute. Years ago, Victor just sat there doing nothing, and I couldn't stand to listen to his ramblings. But now I miss him. The sound of my footsteps is driving me insane. My reflection isn't a corpse yet, but it is aging. Sometimes I can hear what might be a hospital monitor. Am I stuck in a coma, possibly? No. This place wants to break me more. I've been carving this entire entry with my switchblade on the marble. Maybe the next tortured soul will read it. P.S. Signing off with my fingernail. The switchblade finally broke. Robert Calloway.